The night sky over London in 2025 felt charged long before the first note rang out. Stadium lights shimmered like 1,000 stars lowered to earth, and the roar of the crowd rolled like an ocean wave. Among the sea of glowing phone lights and ecstatic cheers, a secret was waiting to unfold. Chris Martin, the magnetic frontman of Coldplay, had prepared a one-of-a-kind tribute for Dakota Johnson, actress, producer, and the woman who has long held a quiet place in his heart. Whispers of something extraordinary had been circling for hours, igniting social media with high-volume keywords such as Chris Martin's special performance UK 2025, Dakota Johnson surprise, and Coldplay London live dedication. All trending worldwide before the concert even began. When the massive screen caught the silhouette of Chris stepping into the spotlight, the crowd's roar dropped to a collective hush. Only a heartbeat-like drum echoed through the arena, signaling the start of something unforgettable. A sweep of white beams illuminated the stage as Chris lifted his acoustic guitar, a half-smile tugging at his face. "London, tonight we're going to do something different," his voice boomed, sending a jolt of curiosity through tens of thousands of fans in the stadium and millions more streaming online. All eyes shifted toward the VIP section, where Dakota Johnson sat poised and radiant in a silver gown that glimmered under the lights. Cameras zoomed in to capture her soft, almost shy smile, and the audience erupted in applause. "For someone who fills my life with color and light, this song is for you," Chris said, his tone heavy with emotion. Instantly, the arena fell silent, the air thick with anticipation. The first chords of a never-before-heard melody drifted across the venue. An achingly beautiful piece that merged Coldplay's signature ethereal sound with lyrics that felt like a handwritten love letter. Phrases about finding home in someone's gaze and a light that never fades wrapped the crowd in collective awe. Online, searches for Chris Martin Dakota Johnson Live UK 2025 and exclusive new Coldplay song surged to the top of global trends. Halfway through, Chris paused. He looked directly at Dakota, eyes glinting with warmth and admiration, and the cameras zoomed closer. The entire stadium seemed to hold its breath. Was this the moment of a grand announcement? An engagement reveal? Or the debut of a track destined for Coldplay's next album? Fans online and in the stands buzzed with speculation, their suspense perfectly orchestrated to keep every eye and ear locked on the stage. As the song swelled toward its climax, Chris invited the audience to lift their phone lights. In an instant, the arena transformed into a galaxy of shimmering stars. Dakota's eyes glistened, her smile broad and unguarded. Across the giant screens, the words "Love is the greatest adventure" appeared, magnifying the sense of wonder. Hashtags like hashtag Coldplay UK 2025, hashtag Chris for Dakota, and hashtag Golden Couple exploded across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. When the final chord faded, the stadium erupted. Chris bowed, turned back to the VIP seats, and said, "Thank you for inspiring every note I write." Thunderous cheers followed as the cameras captured Dakota rising to her feet, applauding with a look of unmistakable pride and joy. Within minutes, international media outlets were breaking the story. Chris Martin's special dedication to Dakota Johnson stuns London crowd, and Coldplay's surprise performance sparks engagement rumors, dominated entertainment headlines. Fans dissected every detail, the lyrical clues, the way Chris lingered on certain lines, the sparkle of Dakota's jewelry, searching for hidden meanings and future revelations. For many, this was more than a concert, it was a living love story. A reminder of music's power to bridge the space between stage and soul. Dakota, famously private about her relationship, couldn't hide her emotion. Witnesses described the atmosphere as magical, unrepeatable, and the kind of night that makes you believe in true love again. As the lights dimmed and the crowd reluctantly began to leave, a sense of having witnessed history lingered in the cool London air. People knew they had experienced something rare, a moment destined to be replayed millions of times across the world. Chris Martin and Dakota Johnson had once again proven their connection isn't just about two people in love, it's about art, music, and the universal language of the heart. Even for those watching later on screens big or small, the scene felt immediate. The rush of drums, the sweep of guitars, the charged gaze between two people who needed no words. Every look, every note, every flash of light became part of a collective memory that will echo for years. And as daily life slowly returned, one truth remained undeniable: love and music hold a power unlike anything else. On that unforgettable night beneath the London sky, Chris Martin didn't just perform a song, he etched a moment into history, a luminous celebration of devotion that will continue to inspire hearts across the world, now and forever. The echoes of that night refused to fade, lingering like a melody that plays on long after the final note. Fans spilled out of the stadium onto the London streets, still buzzing with excitement, their voices carrying fragments of lyrics and shouts of disbelief. Taxi drivers, late-night cafe owners, and street vendors all found themselves swept into conversations about the once-in-a-lifetime spectacle they had either witnessed or heard about within minutes. Social media feeds became a living timeline of the event. High-definition clips of Chris strumming those opening chords, slow-motion shots of Dakota's luminous reaction, and breathtaking aerial views of the glowing audience flooded TikTok, Instagram, and X. Each video was met with millions of likes and comments, turning the performance into a cultural flashpoint that dominated the global conversation for days. Entertainment reporters scrambled to secure interviews with anyone connected to the couple. Backstage crew members hinted at weeks of secret rehearsals, describing how Chris worked late into the night perfecting every chord progression and lighting cue. He wanted everything to be flawless. One technician shared in a behind-the-scenes segment, because this wasn't just another show, it was his personal love letter played out on the grandest stage. Producers revealed that even the camera angles were meticulously planned to capture Dakota's every expression without breaking the intimacy of the moment. Meanwhile, London's iconic landmarks, the Thames, the London Eye, and the glowing spires of Westminster seemed to shimmer a little brighter in the wake of the concert. Tourists and locals alike flocked to the stadium days later, taking photos outside the gates as if the venue itself had become a shrine. Street performers began covering Coldplay songs, their voices echoing through the underground, each rendition drawing crowds of commuters eager to relive the magic. Search engines recorded unprecedented spikes for phrases like Coldplay surprise dedication full video, Chris Martin unreleased song lyrics, and Dakota Johnson London reaction. Keeping the couple at the top of trending lists long after the night ended, music critics were equally captivated. Major publications from Rolling Stone to The Guardian published long-form analyses of the new song, dissecting its lyrical themes and speculating on its place in Coldplay's upcoming projects. Some highlighted the way the track blended the band's classic atmospheric sound with intimate acoustic textures, calling it a sonic love poem. Others focused on the cultural impact, noting how a single performance managed to unite fans across generations and continents. The consensus was clear. This wasn't just another Coldplay ballad, it was a defining moment in modern pop culture. For Dakota Johnson, the experience marked an unexpected spotlight. Normally guarded about her private life, she found herself at the center of heartfelt tributes and viral fan edits. Comment sections overflowed with admiration for her poise and genuine emotion. Fashion magazines dissected her silver gown, labeling it the London Starlight dress and predicting a wave of replicas for upcoming award seasons. Interviews she gave in the days afterward were carefully measured, but her eyes betrayed a warmth and gratitude that words could barely capture. Chris Martin, known for his humility, handled the aftermath with quiet grace. In a brief post-concert interview, he downplayed the spectacle, saying only, "Sometimes music is the best way to say what words can't." Yet those who worked closely with him spoke of a man profoundly moved by the evening, a performer who had managed to merge his art with his deepest personal feelings in a way few artists ever dare. Bandmates described the atmosphere backstage as electric yet tender, with hugs and even a few tears as the crew realized they had been part of something historic. The ripple effect extended far beyond the music industry. Relationship columnists hailed the night as proof that grand gestures of love still have a place in a fast-moving digital world. Psychologists discuss the universal appeal of public declarations of affection, while cultural commentators noted how the event cut through cynicism to remind people of music's power to connect hearts. Couples proposed under city lights that weekend, inspired by the romance of what they had seen. Wedding planners reported a sudden uptick in requests for Coldplay songs, especially the mysterious new ballad, as first dance music. Television networks aired extended segments, replaying the performance with expert commentary on lighting design, crowd choreography, and the emotional resonance of that final lyric. Streaming platforms raced to secure rights to the official recording, and within days, the clip had shattered viewing records. Fans around the world organized simultaneous watch parties, turning living rooms from Sao Paulo to Seoul into miniature arenas glowing with smartphone flashlights to recreate the London moment. Weeks later, as Coldplay continued their UK tour, anticipation followed them like a comet's tail. Would Chris perform the song again? Would Dakota appear at another show? Every setlist change was live-tweeted, every encore scrutinized for hidden messages. Though Chris kept the performance unique to that night, the single eventually appeared on digital platforms under the title Greatest Adventure, instantly debuting at the top of global charts. Listeners swore they could hear the hush of that first London crowd embedded in the recording, as if the magic of the evening had been captured forever in its echoing chords, long after the stadium emptied and the final hashtags began to fade. The memory of that evening remained a touchstone for fans and romantics alike. It wasn't merely a concert, it was a testament to how music and love can intersect to create something timeless. Under the vast London sky, Chris Martin transformed a song into a living promise, and Dakota Johnson became more than a muse. She became a symbol of the beauty that happens when art and affection meet. For everyone who witnessed it, whether in person or through a glowing screen thousands of miles away, the night stood as proof that some performances are more than entertainment. They are history written in melody and light.